Hold that.
Got a little tripod behind it. You got a 2-for-1.
Oh, there's a small little tripod fish behind it.
We
Okay.
did manage to get a
Let's come
good species ID on many of these halosars, which are Altherovandia affinis.
So,
Seems to be the most widespread one we've seen at
any
probably
interest in the
almost
star
every
over
site
here on the
so
left?
far.
We could do a snap zoom, but I believe that we've seen this sea star before.
Oh, there's something in the water column.
Oh, this isopod.
Let's go ahead and zoom in, Roland.
Thing above it will be interest to them.
Get lasers off.
Oh, it's eating something.
Hold that.
Oh yeah, you could see it's grabbing something with its appendages.
I'm floating up a little bit, Jeff.
They seem to always be eating, and they're so small.
Yeah.
It's pretty close to us, huh?
Yep.
I
Oh,
would
wow.
really love to know if, oh, nice shot.
I think he's starting to get caught in our thruster wash.
Yeah, that's minimum.
I would wonder, I'd like to
push.
know if, are they using those appendages to create a feeding current
line.
to
Okay, thank you.
select
There he goes.
particles from the water column, or perhaps are they using those appendages to attract marine snow,
Come back
grab
down.
onto it, and then just kind of shred through it?
I
It's,
think it's also probably to
another
maintain
one.
themselves within the water column.
Different
too,
guy. I
you
think
know,
it might
like
be
I
a
said,
shrimp.
Good copy.
for
Thank you,
propulsion.
Bridge, and
Yeah.
that should be fine.
it's more surface area.
I always wondered what the
Maybe it
deal
is
was
the
with
same.
those
Do a
legs.
partial zoom. Did he just call to say that move is done?
So I
Correct. And
I think
probably
we
be
saw
adjusting heading.
this
Looks
morning
like the wind is
on
bouncing
one of
around a bit.
these
Okay.
isopods,
Thanks.
the legs have very
yeah, that's
thin
cool.
bristles,
Serious
Yeah.
camera.
which seem to act in some propulsive manner to allow them to climb up higher into the water column.
Going tighter, Roland.
Oh, is that a
Whoa.
that's a red ctenophore
Oh.
in Sirius.
There he goes.
There's probably about a minute or two left in movement of Sirius, and then it should
Okay.
steady out.
Thank you. Nice job tracking that one, Roland.
Nice flying. Never got washed away at all.
Get lasers on when you want. Oh, there's a fish up there.
Maybe different. Seems more shiny.
Do a partial zoom. Try to get him before he swims away. Hold that.
There we go.
Oh, there's a new one for this
Or is
dive.
that one of the Neoscopolis? Can't tell. It has a
I-
discolored
Yeah,
gill plate.
I think it's a Neoscopolis.
Common name for them we learned this morning was the.
Yeah, you can go tighter.
I wrote it down here.
Hold that.
The black chin. Interesting. Yeah, it has this. I don't know. Maybe it was just rolling around in the sediments a bit, but there's a lot of sediment on the right-hand gill plate or gill cover. I'm guessing it was just digging around the sediments. These are the fishes that we saw doing the nosedive into the seafloor, presumably foraging for small little invertebrates in the sediment.
Good copy. Thank you for the update.
There's another one of those mounds in the background too. Much larger.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yep. There it is.
Get lasers off. Go ahead and zoom in, Roland. Hold that.
Very nice.
Okay, we'll let him go.
We take a look at the mound on the right.
Yeah, there's this pilot right to the right of the fish, there's this mound. It's like a different
Oh, here in the frame?
coloration. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like one of those, it looks like the fecal mound that we saw earlier.
Can do a partial zoom.
Seems to be,
Hold
Yeah.
that.
seems to be
It's
falling.
very similar, but we don't know what's
Okay,
creating
zoom in
this.
tighter.
With
Interesting.
these little pellets.
Thought I saw it moving.
Is there something right
That's
behind
it.
this mound, it looked like, that was kind of translucent? Transparent? Right there, under,
Oh, under that little
or is that just a
layer of
rock?
sediment. Oh, that kind of, does that look
It's
like
a
Oh, maybe
holothurian.
it's a,
Holothurian?
yeah, maybe that's
Yeah.
a sea cucumber.
that's a,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the,
Oh. No, I don't
Something
think
just
so.
closed
yeah.
up there.
Huh. Could this mound be from the Holothurian?
I don't think that's a holothurian.
No?
There's
No.
another small
I
mound
think it's
behind
something
it.
different.
Let's come out a little bit, Roland.
I mean, those pellets would take a long time to deposit for any organism that was that small.
Seems like a conservation of mass problem there.
Yeah. So,
Is there another one to the bottom left?
Just kicked up a little dust.
yeah, it's,
Maybe it's just discolored
it's tough
sand.
to see these
Yeah.
things unless you can see the organism in the action,
Yeah.
Assuming,
which
it's not going to last long, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think it retracted.
it will remain a mystery, I think.
Go in tighter.
They're like perfectly formed.
Thought I saw this mound moving before we moved in.
Yeah. No idea.
Interesting.
I think anything that, anything that is on this mound is
Is
a
that-
couple of small shrimp, but
What's that tube there? You can go in, Roland, if you got it.
is it a tube or is it seagrass? Might be a tube.
Okay, let's come out, Roland. Thanks, Jeff.
Fecal
Yeah, there's a-
mystery.
Yeah.
Do we need to pull out
You know,
the scoop?
Yeah. I can't see how any organism
Well.
could have that easy access to that pile so that it all just lands on top and rolls downhill. Maybe there's some worm that comes and dumps out its
The only
garbage
box open is the starboard
from
outer.
the burrow every day.
Oh.
Is there something on
Yeah.
the right hand
That's
side?
true.
You see it?
That's true.
Yeah, I
Just
think
drop
it's
it in.
maybe. Oh, the track? Oh, I was looking at the
This
worm.
one?
Yeah, something
Yeah,
was
I think-
retracted.
I was thinking it could be one of those worms, tube worms we've been seeing.
Can zoom in, Roland.
I'm guessing tube worm.
Hold that.
It was definitely out,
Yeah,
and
I
saw
saw it.
something retract.
Yeah, we'll just wait here a little while. Yeah, we'll come back out eventually. Okay, we can come full wide.
Well, so far today, it's been more or less like this. I wish there was some something noteworthy we could say about the change in topography or geology, but I think it's been mostly moderate slopes, sediment with bioturbation. But, you know, there has been some biological bright spots along the track today, namely the woodfall communities we've come across. It's been mostly
Probably
mangrove,
good to move in.
or what we suspect is mangrove.
Just do the same.
Roots,
It's fine.
crop roots. Although one of them
40
was suspected to be
meters,
a
060.
piece of bamboo, which had a slightly different community on it. We did manage to collect a piece, both for biological analysis as well
Bridge. This
to
is
identify
ROV
all
now.
the associated organisms on
Like
and
to
inside
request
the
another
wood.
move, the same, range 40 meters, bearing 060 degrees, speed
We've also come
decimal 2
across
knots.
a pair of sea pen species that we've
Good copy. Thank you, Rich.
been able to identify generally to the family level, but not much further. So we collected a couple of genera, or one species from one of 2 genera. As well, we managed to come across a 2-for-1 collection of targeted organisms we're looking for connectivity studies. A sponge, possibly in the genus Geodia, as well as a stony coral, colonial stony coral, in the genus Madrepora. Another sea star. Astropectinids. Seen about a half a dozen today of these.
Yeah. Oh, actually, this might be different.
Pump,
Do you want to look
pump
at the
the
start?
brakes here.
Yeah. Can
Look
we
at the
do a snap zoom?
Sure.
I think this one's different. This might be a,
It's a little puffier, huh?
yeah, a slime star.
Okay. Good, rolling.
I remember the arms
Get
of
the
the
lasers off.
Oh,
previous
it's
being,
just, I think, underneath the sand.
yeah, a little buried.
Same thing we've been seeing though.
Ooh, but it
Hold that.
has a
Polychaete.
polychaete and something else on the right side. See that dot?
Yeah, can we cycle around to the right?
Sure, let's come up partial rolling.
I was wondering if this could be a different kind of associate organism, or maybe a parasite on this particular sea star.
Okay, go ahead, rolling. Hold that.
It's
Sorry.
interesting.
I mean, it could. I don't,
It's like scar tissue around it.
could either be maybe a wound, or I don't
Yeah.
think that's the madreporite.
No, it's
No.
too big.
That looks more to be more on the top
Yeah.
of the star.
It has like some type of
Maybe something
like
burrowed.
scales.
Yeah.
You see the
Oh yeah, it does have
it's
some texture to it.
Texture. Interesting.
Okay. Great, thanks, pilot.
Okay, when you're ready, video.
Anybody ever heard of sea stars having tumors?
No.
Gross like that.
Thanks,
I wonder
Roland.
if it was a good thing or a bad thing, whatever that is on it.
Get lasers on when you're ready.
I mean, if it was, that would be the biggest one that
Major
I've ever
target,
seen
yeah.
on a star, but you know, it is inflated. A large individual as well.
Possible C pin upper right.
This looks like something.
That's another sponge
Show
stock.
partial zoom.
Oh no, it's the polychaete worm. You know, this polychaete, we haven't been able to get a good handle on it yet, but
You can go in a little tighter.
some sort of tube-dwelling polychaete.
Hold that.
It's a good view of it, though. Usually has a tendency to pull in rapidly.
Maybe 5 to 10 left in that move.
Video's clear.
Okay, let's come out. Gotta run away from that dust.
Mounds and burrows, mounds and burrows. Seems to be the dominant microtopography here. It actually kind of looks like a lunar landscape if you look at the
Yeah.
Sirius view. So over the next few weeks here, well, let's see. Did we do
Should do another
a round of introductions?
introductions. We could do the front row.
I can't remember if this watch has done it.
I
think
don't
we
think
have.
have it.
Yeah, well, we had a shift change about 45 minutes ago, and now sitting pilot is Dan Rogers.
Navigation is Tony Arnold.
Sitting co-pilot, Jeffrey Lanning.
On the far right of video is Roland Bryan.
And in the back is Caitlin Bailey.
And we're all with the Global Foundation for Ocean Exploration.
And in the back row, as your science leads here on this expedition, you have Steve Oskovich. I'm on, yeah, camera's up. Okay, there we go. On the left side, and Stacy Williams on the right. We've been narrating your dives over the past few days today.
Got a fish.
So we have, for everyone on shore side,
Gonna do a partial zoom.
We have about a half an hour, a little bit under a half hour left on bottom. And I know it's the congrid we've
Yeah, the
been,
congrid we've been seeing.
You can come out.
mysterious congrid. Over the past few hours, we've been on the seafloor with you off the southwest corner of Puerto Rico. We have about a half an hour left on this dive. At least time on the bottom.
Do you
Then
see
we'll
that
meet.
thing swimming in the hole right next to left of lasers?
No, missed it.
If possible, pilots, we have a request from our shoreside scientists to get a close-up of the head
Of this fish?
on the eel. Yeah.
Sure.
Between the head and the pectoral fins, so the first pair of fins. Closest to the head.
A little bit of dust there.
Go ahead, Bridge.
Go ahead, Roland. Hold that.
Good
Go
copy.
tighter.
Thank you for the update, Bridge.
Hold that. Go tighter.
It's hard to see the fins. They're,
It's back soon.
yeah, I can see them
Yeah.
now. They're
Keeps going.
Really
He's
small.
going to go
very
south
small
of
and
the Sea
reduced.
Star.
He's kind of drifted away from me here. Let's come out, Roland.
Hopefully, Kevin, to let us know if you need more on that fish. We've seen several over the past, I would say,
Oh, there's another
Yep.
one.
so they're not too rare. Seem to be photobombing us along the way. We just started seeing them somewhere around, I would say around 900 meters. Not too long ago.
Okay, go ahead, Roland. Hold that.
They have like a really cute face to them. Reminds me of something, but I can't think of it. It's not coming to my mind right now, but
Can try the I-beams to switch to the lighting.
Sure. Interesting sediment pellets there. You can turn on the headlights when you're ready, Jeff.
Can actually see through towards the brain, kind of between the eyes on this fish.
yeah.
Same with Aldrovandi or the halosaurs. Their skull and tissue is not all that thick, and it's pretty easy with the lights that we have to see almost through halfway through their body.
Got any more zoom? Is
That's
that-
max.
Okay.
Sort of got a squid texture to it.
Okay. Well, I was hoping he would turn a little bit, but
All right,
hopefully
I
that's
think
enough
that's the best
detail.
we're going to do. Thank you, pilot.
Get the headlights off. Thank you. So, how much time do we have left on bottom? And we'll need to include a few minutes
Yeah,
to
that
get
takes
set up.
that into account. So
Okay.
we've got about till 55. So
Okay. Does that include maybe 5 minutes for
yeah,
testing?
that covers 10 minutes for them to do stuff and you guys to get oriented before
Okay.
coming up.
So about 15 minutes for total for all.
No.
10 total.
Oh yeah, 10 for them, but you guys have another 25 of exploring.
I just mean like so when we calculate off bottom time, we'll
Yep, that's in there. So, well, it's 10 minutes total for their testing and that, roughly. So we assumed 5 for testing, since it should be quick.
Okay, well maybe we can get another move in. 060 seems fine. Just do another 40 meters.
So thanks to Kevin on shore for providing us some feedback. Kevin is with
Bridge,
the
this is ROV
NOAA's
nav.
National Marine Fisheries Service.
Gonna get
Provided
another
us
ship
some
move,
feedback
same
about
as last,
possible
range
candidates
40
for
meters,
this
bearing 060
Congress
degrees,
eel we've been
speed
seeing over the
decimal 2
past
knots.
several days, likely in the genus Ariosoma, with one of 2
Good copy. Thank you, Bridge.
possible species as a candidate. Have to see. Maybe over the next few observations we can get some better imagery, or if it's even possible to determine the species from video. Just to summarize this, we're in our last 25 minutes or so of bottom time. We managed to make 3 collections today in support of better characterizing we've made 3 collections today to better characterize the seafloor habitats in this area. 2 of them being corals, which seem to be the dominant, or one of them seems to be one of the more dominant structure-forming species in the area, and that's Madrepora, which is a colonial stony cold water coral. It lives down quite deep. We observed 1 colony.
Thanks,
And while this particular colony wasn't that large, this particular species of Madrepora is widespread through the North Atlantic. And it's well studied with respect to species connectivity in this region. So it'll be of great interest to scientists on the shore. The other species of coral we collected was a sea pen, possibly a sea pen that in a family we don't well understand in this area.
Let's get a zoom, partial zoom when you're ready, Bob.
What's that?
Oh,
Hold that. What is that?
oh.
It's like a compressed
Giant,
shrimp.
Yeah,
Um,
station of some sort.
I was wondering if it could be another
Go ahead and do
cumation.
more zoom. More
Uh,
zoom.
Let's see what it is. Nope.
Hold that.
Not going to
Looks
help
like,
us.
Yeah, it looks like some type of shrimp.
I was thinking it could be a hooded shrimp, another species, but I can't get a
Lasers
good
off.
look at it. It's moving really quickly.
See what I can do. And go more. Hold that.
So,
Coming up.
folks on the shore, it's definitely. Does that have claws?
Yeah, I'm bumping up pretty
I think
fast.
I see claws. but it's flattened,
Ah.
dorsoventrally flattened.
It's coming toward me.
Kevin said I might be a flat back blind lobster. Oh, nope, it's not. Not sure what
It's
it
mystery.
is. Mystery. Definitely has the
Hold that.
telson like a lobster, but also shrimp have this type of. Huh.
Could this be our
Coming right for us.
possible organism
All
that's
right.
creating
Looks
these
like you got a
He's
free
gone.
collection.
mounds
Yeah.
that were possibly crustacean castings?
Okay, let's come full wide video.
I don't know enough about these, but it seems like it could be the right size.
And as always, you can go past the skid whenever you need to. Okay, coming back.
Looks like we're a little bit over halfway of that last.
Copy that.
Polycheles. Never seen that before. I've seen ones that are a little bit bigger and quite shallower, but never one that has been that small. So I was discussing the list of samples we had collected today. So we collected a sea pen for identification purposes. We collected a stony coral for connectivity purposes. And we've collected kind of a mishmash of organisms in a deep sea woodfall that will help us better understand some of the soft sediment biodiversity or woodfall biodiversity in this area. It's not well known, the woodfall communities in this area, so anything we can collect from woodfalls is extremely valuable to scientists studying biodiversity in the deep sea. I know on that woodfall there was at least a pair of crinoids, possibly a squat lobster, as well as what looked to be some
Chitons also.
Yep, chitons, and hopefully they're still on there. A couple of asteroid-looking brittle stars, if that makes any sense. A couple of brittle stars that have a very distinct star shape. Interesting.
Go ahead, Bridge.
Maybe
So for
let the
for
bridge know.
some of the folks on the shore side in our science chat and our conference line here, we are
Copy that
again
bridge.
on the shallower end of
to the southwest,
diving,
and,
not as shallow as
you don't
yesterday,
have to change heading,
but we're
just
passing
shift,
around
use the DP to move the ship in that
820
direction.
meters. That's Sirius.
Oh,
820 meters.
oh yeah.
Good copy. Thank you, Bridge.
We come up a few meters,
So
Jeff.
I'm going to say that the engineers on the ROV operations team are going to want to have the conference call sooner than later, so we can discuss tomorrow's dive track as well. So don't go too far. Pretty much right after our dive ends today, we'll get that over with, so they can head out to recover the vehicles.
And tomorrow we'll be diving much deeper, between, I believe it's like around 2,000, right, meters?
2,100 was the shallowest point on one of the tracks, and the deepest point was about 3,000 meters, so significantly deeper than today. We're going to be working off of a feature south of the western end of Puerto Rico called the Yagüe Spur, which is, again, quite deep, 3,000 meters. We have a few dive tracks to choose from, but we'll be discussing that with our science party on the post-dive call. And then after that, we'll also be discussing the next day's dive, so we want you to stay tuned for that. Is that a different fish over to the right-hand side, 3 o'clock right now, above the halosaur?
I think it's the same one that we're seeing, but we could take a snap zoom.
I thought I saw a pilot on.
I think it's the OF.
Go ahead, watch lead.
On the right-hand side, just out of the frame right now, there was a second fish that,
Okay.
not the
Behind you
halosaur,
slightly.
not the long, skinny one. This one was a little bit thicker, and it kind of looked like a grenadier.
Sure. How far off to the right was it?
I'll let you know. It was very close. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's
Hey, Jeff, I'm
more.
going to back up to you a little bit. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Smaller fish.
Yeah,
You go
the
partial
top one.
and hold that.
Yeah, I think it's one of these phytoforms that we've been seeing.
It's a different perspective. Okay, well, if it's not going to be cooperative,
Okay.
it's not a grenadier. It's not what I was thinking. I think we can carry on.
Okay, let's come out.
Gaza. I saw one of the spinning
Oh, yeah?
snails, Gaza. We were talking about that not just a couple days ago, I think. We saw a mollusk, a gastropod mollusk called Gaza, G-A-Z-A, which was seen exhibiting a particularly unique behavior for that
How much time
Oh,
do we have
there's
left?
one
type
right
of
there.
snail. Yep, do you see it there?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it at the bottom. How much? Oh, you can do
13 minutes or so.
15 minutes. Okay.
Want
So
to
we
do
have
one more
time.
jump?
One more move, yeah.
Same one?
Yeah.
So these gastropod, marine gastropods, marine snails, are usually deep sweet. Yeah, I think I see it at
Yeah,
6
right
o'clock,
there.
right
Yeah,
in the
6.
frame.
Bridge, this is
Steve,
ROV now.
after you like the snail, when you start going forward
I'd
again,
like to do
upper left
another
corner, you may
move,
have to turn
same as
somewhat to the
last.
left.
So range
There's
of
something
40
red. I couldn't
meters,
tell if it was
bearing
stopped or if it's
060
Go ahead and zoom in
degrees,
video.
speed
Okay.
decimal 2
We'll
knots.
take a look at that. So we
Hold that.
noticed
Good copy.
these
Thank you, Bridge.
snails a few days ago on the seafloor, and they do this whirling kind of gesticulation that's coming out right
Yeah,
now
you can see his eyes.
to try and either get uphill or downhill across hill very quickly. And it's actually kind of funny to watch them
It is.
move. They can
Pretty
actually
erratic.
yeah, I don't know if it's this species or another. They get quite large, and it's actually kind of funny when the larger ones start moving.
Yeah.
But they can really book it.
Go
Okay.
tighter if you got it. Max. I've got you unlatched, Bob, so you'll have to latch me if you want to talk to me. Thanks. Oh,
All right, pilot, I think we're satisfied there.
okay. We can go ahead and come out.
So we have a request for the upper left frame. There was a red object possibly sticking out of the sediment just off the frame now.
Upper left.
I'll have to let you know when I see it. I didn't get a good glimpse of it on the way in.
Yeah, it might be, you might have to go forward a meter or two to see it.
Forward a bit. Is it this anemone looking thing?
I don't see anything now.
Copy that.
Yep. Yeah, I don't quite see anything. I mean, it could have been one of the, we saw Protop
Yeah, we're
Pilot
going to switch for the recovery
similar
where he's going
looking
to sit and I was going to watch.
C-pen
but
earlier.
It's good practice. So.
I've seen at least one other one.
Any interest in getting
Those
a close
were
look
red.
at this?
Yeah, we can snap zoom on this.
There's something crawling
Oh,
in the
there's
sediment.
something crawling.
Looks like a crab, maybe. Go and do a partial zoom. Hold that.
A very well
Oh,
camouflaged
yeah,
crab.
super.
Just as we zoomed in, I saw very bright red, either mysid, opossum shrimp, or copepod, and I'll bet that's what I saw, and I interpreted that as something coming out of the bottom.
Got it. We are looking at another
Yeah.
type of anemone, though. This
Some
looks different
dust
from
coming
the
in the frame, Bob.
serianthids we've been seeing. I don't think this is a serianthid, but it looks to be either in or on top of the sediment.
Yeah, I agree, Steve. So there is a group, or there are a couple of groups of burrowing anemones, not tube anemones, which is what the Seriantheria are. So, for example, the family Edwardsiidae, those are anemones that build burrows
You go
to
tighter if you
varying
got it.
depths. This is a fairly big one, so I'm not sure it's an Edwardsiid, but it is a, quotes, true anemone as opposed to a Serianthid.
Right. Thanks, Scott. That's Scott France at University of Louisiana Lafayette. He's been with us several days during this expedition to try and provide some additional context to what we're seeing.
Okay, let's come out.
I was kind of surprised that there's not many polyps, not many tentacles on this single anemone. Usually I'm used to seeing more.
Yeah.
And could be a diagnostic characteristic. But as we've said in previous days, anemones are notorious for being very difficult to identify by photo and video, and really do require a collection.
Looks like our turns counter is a little offset today, huh?
And 0.3.
Okay. I was going to ask how that happened. 0.3. Okay.
Looks like
Copy.
another one of those phytoform fish.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Okay. But D2 to Sirius is correct. Okay. So I think when we do our testing, we'll go ahead and we can stay on the bottom in formation, but we'll maybe get lined up. I'll get my proper heading in, and we'll do our test, and then you can swing back to line up with the ship. Was that sufficient? Or okay. Okay, because this way you can at least keep eyes on. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there's a sea robin, it looks like.
Yeah. Right. And you see it kind of just floating up. Go ahead and zoom in. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good.
So we were tossing around a few possible common names. This one looks really different. It has this long barbels coming off the side. Looks like the underside. It's kind of yawning.
Yeah.
This one looks a little bit different than the ones we've seen in recent days. It seems a little bit more armored and scaly, especially in the head region.
Can go in tighter. Hold that.
And those forked features at the very front of the skull seem to be more knobby and short, although one of them might even be broken off.
Yeah, he's seen some hard days.
Is it? Oh.
Okay, let's come out video. I'm going to push ahead.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Caitlin was just telling us back here with an instant replay that one of the eyes looks a little bit damaged when we were zooming in. One of the eyes appears more sunken, while the other one looks normal. So
is that move about done?
Just wondering if it could be
stopped already.
Maybe blindness in one eye or damaged part of one eye.
Yeah, another scar.
Yeah, these. You know, I hesitate to say it's all beaked whales, but
there are a lot
could
of
be. One of these days I'll see a beaked whale. Never actually seen one, and I think
I've never seen one either.
The worm tube. I think that's. Now I've seen some of these beaked whale scars. They look, fresh in some spots, but you can tell when they're full of sargassum. They've probably been there for a while. But I can't remember where I was. Maybe it was in the Anegada Passage or off the Cayman Rise on one or multiple cruises, and they looked very, very fresh. And like they had just been scoured within.
Yeah, it should be settling out. Sir, it should be in
months to years.
Basically, a couple minutes explore and call it.
Okay, so at 54, we'll end it. Okay,
sounds good.
All right, watch lead. This is pilot. We just have time for a couple more zooms, so whatever we can see in frame or near the vehicle now, we can get you a last look at.
Can we zoom on this worm tube that's right in front here?
Sure.
I think that's we still haven't gotten a good identification on these, but my family level identifications for polychaetes are a little rusty.
Okay, go and zoom in video. And hold that, please. Give it a little bit of.
I've seen a number of these worms so far in the latter half of this dive.
A little bit of dust here.
Oh, there's like a little squat lobster right at the base.
Yep.
Looks like
squat lobster.
Maybe that'll call it. Yeah, we're feeding him today. Maybe he'll retract. Nope.
I'm sure all this
Let's come out
sediment
video.
washing into the worm is probably like Thanksgiving dinner. A lot of organic material for that worm to pass through. Okay, well, I think that's more or less the show for today. Can't see anything else in the immediate vicinity.
No hard ground.
Yeah, we tried.
Yeah, I'm going to come up slope a little bit.
Shore side, is
Thank
there
you, Bridge.
anything of interest for the last zooms in our last couple minutes on bottom here?
Is this?
Yeah, can we
I think we're
look off
getting
into the background a bit? There seems to be some more
Sure.
topography that I wasn't sure if those were burrows or mounds or maybe that was some exposed rock.
Okay.
I don't think it's rock. I think
No, yeah.
yeah, whatever this is a big burrow
Wow, look at that.
or some scar. The lair of some sea monster.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I think that's going to conclude the science portion of our dive. So we're going to do some testing and get set up for recovery.
All right, thanks,
Sounds
pilot.
good. Thank you.
Great dive today, one and all. For everyone on the science line, the conference line, as well as in the chat room, we'd like to start the post-dive call more or less right away in the next minute or two. So if you could all get on the line at your convenience, we'll start with a recap of today's dive, followed by dive planning for the next 2 days. So for everyone else online, thanks for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow with another, hopefully 8 hours of exploration, a little bit deeper, but we'll be back tomorrow and hopefully see some hard bottom.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Buenas noches.
Okay, so I'm well out ahead of you, Jeff. Let's go off EXRV.